Hey, everybody. Welcome to another paranormal question of the day. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
April Fool's Day.
It is April Fool's.
So, we'll begin the show right after the intro. And she's gone.
That was a quick intro. I'm like, what? I got time to finish brushing my hair. I'm here.
Lucky for me, I don't have any hair to brush.
I know, you're lucky. What's going on, Darren?
Not much. How you doing, Taryn?
So I was confused about what you wanted, like when you sent me that message about the movie.
Oh, yeah. So, with the list being so long, and there is a long list, here is the question, by the way. I'll post it right now. So basically, what it is name some horror movies that stay the true form based on their true story, and determine if they stray away from it and too much Hollywoodized in a different true form. So, and there's a lot of movies on this list that really
Aren't real at all.
kind of shook my head. Like, why are they even on this list? So, kind of wait a little bit for people to chime in. And like I said, it's kind of like what I sent to you before was kind of like to get the backstory of these movies as to why they are based on true form. And who do we got popping in so far?
Hi, Colette.
Hey, Colette, how you doing? Welcome to the program.
Welcome.
I believe this is her first time, if I remember correctly, or she been on before.
No, she's been on.
Okay, my bad. I try to keep track of the viewers that are new to me that I guess I just didn't see.
Unless maybe, like, I know she's been on stuff I've been on. I know Colette. So,
Okay.
So I've seen her on. I'm pretty sure she's been on your show.
Okay. It's so funny as I was writing this all up before we got in, because you know how you gotta put the title and the description, all that in the thing before we can start this video. YouTube, I had to cut my words down a little bit because I was too much over 100 words.
Oh yeah, in the description you can't. YouTube doesn't let you put like this big long description.
Mm-hmm.
I got the comments down.
Oh, okay. So anyway,
Are you going to share the list?
No, I kind of want to see what people come up with. Hello, how are you?
Oh, thank you. Hi, Lori.
Nice to see you here, Lori. Hope you're having a good Friday. So Lori is the lady that takes care of the Washoe County Historical Museum.
Oh, really?
Yep. Awesome lady. You'd like her.
Well, thank you for joining us.
So,
I'm so rude. Look at me. I'm like this. Look at me.
I'm like that every day. I'm just kidding. But no, I kind of want to see what movies people would bring up and what they have on top of their mind compared to what my list is, because it is a long list. And like I said,
It is a long list, and there's some ridiculous. There's ones that are on there that are, I mean, as far as I know, are completely fiction.
Right. I and you start getting to think like, okay,
like who made the list?
So, huh?
I said, who made that list? Because
well, Google. So, and honestly, the one that I sent you, the top 4 are actually on top of my head, right out of the gate. I will send you something here, which I did do some study. Hopefully, yeah, okay.
Well, I'll say, like, for myself, I think because this is probably it's one of the my in my top 5 scariest movies ever.
Mm-hmm.
And it is based on a true story. Um, I feel like as far as what actually happened, as far as like all the scientists being involved and the recreation of the home, her moving in real life, her moving from, state to state to state, and like the things that have happened
Mm-hmm.
to her. Um, Hi, Ron. Oh, I love
Hey,
Ron.
Ron.
He is awesome.
How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Me and him are going to get matching little bat tattoos.
Oh.
So the entity is for me.
Okay.
For sure.
And I've seen that one. That's a crazy movie.
It's a crazy movie. And it's very frightening for a woman.
Mm-hmm.
But being a woman and having that happen to you, you know what I mean? But it still is. That movie scared me. The Exorcist, yeah. I wasn't scared of The Exorcist. I don't know why it didn't scare me. I don't know. I probably will get a lot of backlash for this, but it honestly isn't even in my top 5.
Well, see, okay, so back when I was a little younger, yeah, The Exorcist did kind of freak me out a little bit.
Hooch!
But
Sorry,
hey, how you doing, Tim? How you doing? The Exorcist did kind of scare me a little bit when I was younger, but my wife had it on a couple days ago, and I just started laughing. I don't know, it just made me laugh.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I don't know. A lot of people, mostly everybody I know brings up The Exorcist, but
I mean, it's no joke. It's based
it's
on
a
a true
good
story.
movie. I'm not saying it's
Right.
not a good movie
Right.
at all. I like the movie. I love the movie actually, but it didn't leave a mark like The Entity did, and that to me, I mean, like stuff like that based on true stories, and every movie that's based on a true story definitely has some fiction in it.
Mm-hmm. And that's where the Hollywoodized portion of it comes up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but that movie was like very scary.
So with The Exorcist, now a lot of with the way how that movie is portrayed, it feels like, or it's set in Philadelphia, but in actual reality, it took place in outside of St. Louis.
I don't know why they do that either. Just say you're in St. Louis. Who cares?
Right. But because if you look where that house is and you got those steps that go down alongside of the house, that's all Philadelphia there.
Hi, Meg.
Hey, Meg. How you doing?
She's one of my peaches and one of my besties.
Awesome. Glad you can make this show.
Going to Gettysburg next week for a week. And this beautiful woman has allowed me to crash her house for a week.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So we got to Exorcist so far.
Yeah.
And that's one on the list.
Because I know it can happen. I went to church when I seen it. It went to bed, the Bible. Oh, I believe that stuff could happen, but
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, we're not making fun of the movie. It's just
no. I mean,
the older we get, it kind of seems funnier to us because
even down to the true story, like the real life story, I believe it was a boy, not a little girl.
Right.
So right there,
it's straight away from it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Washington D.C. was the setting. Ron said.
Okay.
Wait.
Well, sure. I don't know if I think it was Philadelphia. If I could be wrong, but like I said, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought it was Philadelphia. What's that?
Yeah, it says I heard it was a boy from Hazleton, PA. Yeah, I knew it was a boy. So, Silence of the Lambs based off. Even Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, but which
one?
And
Psycho. I did not know that Psycho had something to do with Ed Gein too. With Ed Gein's
really?
Mother. Yep. So the mother in Psycho portrays Ed Gein, I guess.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that till today either.
So
So you got 3 movies that are portraying Ed Gein's life.
And which one do you think
It's-
is the closest that stays the closest?
Well, see, Texas is too gruesome, so that strays way away from it. And Psycho, I could see because you got Bates that clings to his mother like crazy. Okay, so that's true to form right there. So I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, here you have a movie that I mean, honestly, ever since I saw the last Texas Chainsaw Massacre I saw
Hmm.
was the one that had Jessica Biel in it.
Okay, so I think Dan's about 15 or 20 years old now.
Thanks, Darren.
Hey, I'm right there, so no shame, no shame.
But that traumatized. I couldn't eat super pizza for like 3 weeks.
Uh-huh.
My anxiety, and then right there, I was like, you know what? I can't watch gory movies anymore.
I
It totally messed me up.
I almost threw up in the theaters watching that because when they took that salt and put it right in that person's leg after being cut off, I almost lost it. And I can't watch Saw either because Saw really turns my stomach.
I've never seen that. I've never seen Hostel.
I've seen that.
I've never seen Sinister.
Seen
Uh,
that one.
I did see.
1 and 2, actually.
Wait a minute. Which one's Sinister? I might have seen that. Is that the one with
the author that
Yes,
buys a house?
Yeah, actually, I did see that one, and that wasn't that bad.
That's where they had all the kids, I think, and the family hung outside behind their house.
I said that. That was the first thing I said.
Yep.
The entity.
Yep.
I hear, hi, Bidler. It was scary.
Hello.
It was scary. And they actually were saying what facts did they have in the movies, right? They really did recreate her house. Yeah. These scientists or PhDs or whoever it was, I don't remember, but they actually recreated her house, and they had her staying in this place because they thought that they could freeze dry. Wait, I'm sorry, not freeze dry. You know, like the ice that comes in packaging, it's dry ice. They thought that they could do that with whatever was attacking her. Like she would run out when it started happening. At least this is what they showed in the movie. I don't know how they planned on doing it in real life, but that scared the shit out of me. And Kenny's a guy, so but you don't know how that affects a woman. Like that type of a scenario. The fact that you hear of this. I want to go back to this really quick though, because I don't know if I've ever heard of this movie, Deranged.
Yep, that's on the list. Deranged. I have never seen that one.
I gotta look that up.
Like I said before, when I was telling you about this, like some of these movies I might go back and watch just to see what they're based on.
They didn't make. I heard that they really did make it. Well, I trust Kenny. I mean, he knows more than I do. I heard they really made a place for her, to because they thought they could they thought they could catch it, basically. But I don't know. I guess I'm wrong.
So
but
now
on this list, though, they have what? They have Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Street. So I don't. They're basing that off of the 2010 version of Nightmare on Elm Street, not the original, but the 2010 version.
But what is that? Nightmare on Elm Street is you go to sleep and there's a guy in your dreams that comes with claws and kills you.
Right.
There's nothing factual about that.
I just, like I said, it floors me because then, okay, if you look at that at Nightmare on Elm Street, then what about Friday the 13th? Or Sleepaway Camp?
Sleepaway Camp, yeah. I mean, Halloween.
Halloween, exactly.
Can you send the link to Kenny?
For what?
He wants to come on. He said he has some info.
Oh.
You can put it in the comments.
I don't know how to do that.
Hold on, I'll send it. I'll send it to him. Hold on.
Yeah, send it to him. Bring him on. Because I want to hear what he has to say. Because
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I always heard that it was.
Because I always thought that, like I said about The Exorcist, I thought that took place. Yeah, well, it took place in St. Louis, but they're using the movie setting in Philadelphia.
What are you talking about?
Exorcist.
Oh,
Because someone was correcting me on here about Washington D.C. was the setting for The Exorcist.
I sent it. Hi, John.
Hello.
A movie about dream paralysis. Oh, okay. So they're saying like
okay, so sleep paralysis and all that stuff, and like, yeah. So you would consider then Freddy Krueger to be like a shadow person to come and grab you, because sleep paralysis mixes in with shadow people. Because in that beginning scene where that lady was getting cut up and the boyfriend was standing because he couldn't see what was going on. Okay, so he wasn't seeing it.
Hold on, here he comes.
Hey, Kenny.
Bigler!
What's up?
Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you.
Everybody, we are blessed this afternoon.
Oh my God, here we go.
Paraceleb.
Here we go.
Doesn't she like to put you on the spot?
How lucky.
And
I'm going to see you tonight. This is great. Two times
we're going to be
night.
on. So the movie, The Exorcist was filmed. It was set in DC because the steps.
Right, that's what I was saying about the steps. Because I took a place like Philly, so because Philly has a lot of that stuff too, right?
Philly has a lot of like historic district, but the steps and the house, are in DC. It's right outside. It's right on the edge of DC. I have pictures of it, and it's always been a funny, like a behind the scenes fact that when the priest jumps out the window at the end and then rolls down the steps, it's not possible because the house is actually so far over.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right. In the original house that's actually happened to, there's no steps. It's just, jump out a window, you're going straight down to the ground.
You're going straight down to the yard. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's outside of St. Louis.
Yeah. And then for the entity case, the Doris Bider case, that whole scene at the end of the film where they recreate the house and they
I heard that didn't happen.
Didn't happen at all. That was purely written for the movie.
My whole life, I thought that, and I even within the last 5 years, people have told me that they really tried to do that. No, they didn't do that at all. When you if you watch interviews with Barry Taff, I mean, he tells you right out that was just for the movie. Even his book, Ghosts Below, UFOs Above, or something like that. I forget the title of the book, but he goes into it then, and that was pure fiction. Wow.
I mean, that whole case is just messed up anyway. There's so many problems with that, and it was probably one of the worst professional investigations you could ever look into.
Well, I mean, think about it was like the 70s, right?
Yeah. Well, most of these big cases, Amityville,
Conjuring,
all the Conjuring, the
Exorcist,
all these ones happened in the 70s. That's when it was big. Pre-internet days, really hard to look up stuff, verify facts. So it's easy to get away with a story.
Right. Exactly. I mean, go ahead.
I mean, like, I know that she, well, they thought it was psychological at first, and then, this and that. I can't watch that movie alone or in the dark or anything. It scares the crap out of me.
Just like the others scares the crap out of me.
The Others?
Yeah, the Others.
The Others is a great movie.
I don't know. Something about it just freaks me out.
There's an article a friend of mine, JD Sword, wrote about the boy that's the inspiration for the Exorcist story. He went into details, found the actual kid, and followed his life, because he did grow up, and he had a life until he passed away, which wasn't too long ago.
Now, did the priest from that ordeal end up going to a mental institution?
Not that I know of. It's very, very difficult to track because there's so many stories. Like the movie, forget it. The movie is pure movie magic. Right. So
otherwise,
don't even go by that. Going with the real story and even those facts are messed up because they were so. Not only are they almost 50 years ago, but you're talking about nobody was tracking the story at the time.
Right.
So diaries, I think there was an alleged diary by the priest, which nobody can find. Nobody has the original for. So we're going off a hearsay, and that in itself is a problem.
So on Discovery Plus, they had those shock docs, and they had the Exorcist part of that. And that's where I got where they were saying that the actual priest ended up going because he accepted the spirit come into his body to relieve it from the boy, that he ended up going into a mental institution.
So that's a different story. You're talking about the devil made me do it case.
Was that okay?
Yeah, you're conflating the two. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I get my stories mixed up sometimes because they're so similar in some ways.
So the Ronald Doe was the inspiration for the Exorcist film, and then that other one that you're talking about was the court case where he allegedly told the spirit or the demon or whatever in the boy to come into him, which caused him to murder his landlord. And yeah, that's the famous case that
I do that a lot. Sorry. There's so many movies out there. You get confused with which is which.
Well, and then even John Covey says The Strangers. I feel like The Strangers, wasn't The Strangers kind of
based on Manson?
Yeah, the night that what's her face?
Sharon Tate.
Sharon Tate was killed.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a freaking crazy. The second somebody knocks on your door in the middle of the woods. And they're like, "Is Tamara there?" I'm like, "Oh no, we're out."
Have bags on their heads. No, I don't think
no
so.
way.
You're in the woods and somebody knocks on your door. Nope.
I'm getting my shotgun out and I'm putting you out of your misery.
Yep.
See you later,
knock on
buddy.
the window, you tap on the window with the barrel and go.
Yeah. That was a messed up movie. Definitely gave me that definitely like changed my mind about going to the Poconos, cabin in the woods or something. It's like, no.
Yeah.
There's another one now. Okay, you got Jaws on this list.
Why is Jaws on there?
I don't
Hold
know.
on, I'm going to share the list in the comments.
Why is Jaws? Wait, name horror movies that are based on true stories. So that's not Jaws.
I know, but it was on the list. That's what I was saying that when I put up there for the intro, like shocking that some movies are on this list that shouldn't be. Jaws is on the list, and so is Open Water.
Open Water. I don't know.
So Open Water is about a couple that get stuck in the ocean, and they got all the
remember
jellyfish around them. They start biting.
They went on like an excursion. They were away, and they went on an excursion, and they got left behind by the boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they were in the water for 24 hours.
So it's loosely based on a true story of Tom and Eileen. In 90.
Yeah, does anybody even know?
Never heard of it. Interesting.
I watched it a long time ago because there's Open Water 2 and all that. So they made a sequel out of it, obviously. But now they have. But when I saw Open Water on there, but then I also saw Jaws. Okay, so how does Jaws fit into this, and where's the true base story? I was trying to find it while I was at work today to see if I could find the backstories of some of these movies as to why they were on this list as based as true stories. And there's only a few I could come up with because so about time I got to work, but
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, all these movies, they're all loosely based on a true story. As long as you have one character's name that was a real life name, then it's based on a true story. Right. And you can attach that to Jaws and say, look, there have been shark attacks where the community said, let's go out and get this shark. Let's kill it because it killed one of us. Let's go kill it. And I'm sure you can find stories. So yeah, you can. It's based on a true story, but
And isn't sharks really more predominant in the east part of the country versus more the south?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
not an expert on that, so.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. They cut my message off. I was trying to share all the movies that's on here.
Well, there's like almost 25, 30 movies on this list.
But I can't even believe that they have like. The Girl Next Door?
Yeah, so The Girl Next Door is about I believe it. I don't know if it's if it's you got in your notes. I sent it to you, but I think it's based on a little girl that got just tortured and beaten to hell.
Oh my God.
and they based the movie off of her.
Well, The Girl Next Door that I remember, wasn't The Girl Next Door? It was a funny movie.
Yeah, you don't want. Yeah, that's the good one. That's the good one. I'll watch that one all day. But
I wouldn't mind that being a true story.
But I mean, and that's just goes along with titles too. How easy it is to get movies mixed up with the same certain title that they post.
Right.
You know, because now, okay, so if you're looking and say, oh, I'm looking for that funny movie, but then you get this and pull up and like, oh, wait a minute, now this isn't the right movie. You know.
So
right. I just wanted to. I'm gonna take off. I just wanted to comment on that real quick.
Sure.
No, I appreciate
Thanks
that.
for joining the broadcast.
No problem.
Because
if you bring up another movie and I'm like, oh shit, I got to comment on that. I'll be back on.
Sure.
But all right, take it easy, guys.
Thanks, Kenny.
Thanks.
Bye,
Take
everyone.
Easy.
Yeah. So Nick is saying that the inspiration for Scream was a wild story.
Yep, Scream. Yep,
and
based on a true story.
Even a shark attack in Chicago once. Well, I mean,
Chicago.
In Chicago. Well,
oh, that's kind of odd. What the heck would a shark be in the Michigan Lake?
I don't know. I mean, I really thought, I can't remember where I saw that just as I'm totally like, when you find out like something like your whole life, you're like, oh my God, I'm still stuck on the fact that they didn't recreate her house.
All right. Well, you know that the Conjuring, when you go like behind the scenes of the Conjuring, they actually
jump back on if you bring up the Conjuring house.
Huh?
Kenny's going to jump back on if you're bringing the Conjuring up because that.
I know, but the movie, they actually made the movie in the gym or the house in the gym. Yeah, there's a gym that they actually put the house together.
Oh.
And they filmed it that way. And then I think they did cut scenes to make it like they're outside. Or, you know what I mean? Where the house is placed. So, and obviously, a lot of these, the Conjuring 1, 2, and 3 are, based on Ed and Lorraine Warren's life as they,
Yeah, but the story is just like nothing is really. I mean, I sat there and I was talking to, oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank. What's her name?
There's a lot of her.
From the Conjuring, the daughter from Conjuring, where she's
Judy?
No, not Judy. The daughter that's out now. Why am I drawing a blank?
Because I know Judy's her daughter. That's
right. She wrote the books. She's out. She's at a lot of events now. I'm cripe. I mean, I've hung out with her several times. I can't believe I can see her face. And we were talking one night, and I asked her. I just have one question. Was the clap game for real?
Mm-hmm.
She said no. I was like, that.
Throw the movie to make it more interesting. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, and they got to do that. I mean, these straight up horror movies. I mean, they got to grab people's attention. I mean, like Friday the 13th, they got to have nudity in there just to grab people's attention, or else they won't watch it. And then a lot of these movies don't need that type of stuff in there. It's scary enough as is in its own setting. You know what I mean?
If you think about it, if you were to just make a movie about what really happened,
it'd be boring to people.
Maybe it wouldn't be that exciting, which is why they have to add all that stuff. Like The Conjuring, half of the things they said happened there didn't happen there. But Sheba wasn't even. I don't even think she even was anywhere near that property.
I think she owned the land, is what they said. They owned the land.
Oh, okay. Well, she didn't die there. I don't.
No.
I think what's the backstory that she hung herself or something? I don't.
Hung herself in a tree, so to speak, to curse the land.
Yeah, which I don't even think that happened. So. Lorraine, not Lorraine. I was going to say Lorraine Warren. What the hell's her name? Why am I drawing a blank?
Welcome to Friday.
I'm telling you, my mind.
Now here's one on here. The Dentist.
Yeah, what is that? Now I can't watch that, or so I'll never go again.
Oh, well, I'm thinking that a dentist got deranged probably and murdered somebody as he was working on him,
Yeah,
or
but can you
whatnot.
imagine like how gross that could be?
Yeah,
I
I
can't.
probably would never watch it.
Yeah, I can't watch gory movies.
I can to a certain point. Then I turn my head and go, "Gee, no, I don't think so."
And I can watch, and like I can probably watch people get killed all day, but once I want to bring animals into it, like I'm done.
Oh, same thing with my kids. It's like, oh, you know, just like the Conjuring. I mean, with the dog and stuff. But
You know,
something else.
I run out of the room and I have to plug my ears and I go, "Ugh," and I tell Rob to tell me when it's over. I go, I'm like this the whole time, so I can't even hear anything happening. I'm
That's
like,
the
I don't
same
want to
thing
hear
that
it.
my child does. He goes, "Mute it, Dad. Mute it."
Yep. I can't do it. But I'll watch, I'll watch Michael Myers take somebody out, like, and you know how he always like he'll lift them up and then he goes,
Right? Like,
he
oh,
always
I'm
tilts
just
his head.
admiring still here. And
He tilts his head. I'll watch Michael Myers kill people all day long. But let an animal get involved, and I'm like, no.
so, how much of you know about Fire in the Sky? Because I thought that was something more with aliens. I
It
thought.
is.
Is it? Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I actually met him.
I don't think it's really all that scary, really.
If you talk to him, I mean, to him, yes, he's
Real life, yeah, probably.
still
'Cause he went,
traumatized. He's still
right.
traumatized by it. It happened how many years ago?
And
But
that's just it. Basic real people talk about it. They have their real experiences where we just can watch it.
yeah, and whether it's real or not,
Mhm.
he 1000% believes whatever it was that happened to him happened.
Right, right.
So, and I met him, and you can just tell. Like I met him, and I also met Christopher Lutz, the
Okay.
youngest boy that lived in the Amityville house when the Lutz were there.
Mhm.
You can tell that they went through something.
Right.
What it was, you don't know, but like for 100%. But you can tell that they definitely experienced something. Fire in the Sky, he is an amazing person. However, you can tell that they've been through something traumatic.
Mhm. Mhm. I would like to get Danny Lutz on here for an interview once.
I don't know too much about Dan. Now, Christopher, he changed his last name. It's Christopher Quarantino.
Okay.
But
But Danny goes into great detail of all what happened.
yeah, but you know what? I don't know his story. I did talk to Christopher, and he waited until after his mother passed away to come out and tell what really happened. And his account of it is a lot different, I think, is totally different than the movie. They said, he said they made my stepfather out to be this like hero and, this and that. And he said, when really he was the one that was in the basement and, summoning demons and, reading satanic Bibles and all this stuff, that's what he says, and so.
Unfortunately, you can't get the parents in to comment, and hear their side of stuff. I would love to be able to interview all of them.
Yeah,
unfortunately can't do that. But
right. Well, the mom has passed away.
So is the father.
Yeah, well, the stepdad, George Lutz, that's who is he? Did he pass away?
Yeah, I think he passed away before she did.
No, he was alive after her. George Lutz is who I'm talking about. Yeah, that was their stepfather.
Okay.
I don't know about their real father, but the George Lutz.
He was a Marine guy, I believe.
Yeah, he was alive after the mother because he was trying to, I think there was like legal stuff going on after Chris came out to try to tell to tell a different story. I think there was like legal stuff between the two of them. So I do know they have a sister. The sister's like off the grid. I think she joined like a covenant or something. somewhere. Seriously, like I think she's like in California. That like you don't know where she's at. And then Dan Lutz, which I'm friends with him on Facebook, but never
So am
really
I.
have talked to him or met him or anything, you know. And hi everybody who was on. Oh, Fire in the Sky guy. I'm thinking Tom. Hi, my love, Kayla. I love her. She'll be on the Brews anniversary tonight.
Awesome.
She's amazing. They're amazing. The Miners, they're just the best ever.
So what does everybody think about the list? If you had time to read the list.
It's up there. Yes, you will be too, Tom. That's a given. You better be.
I mean, it's a crazy list of movies that I didn't even think that would be on there, and they're on there. So
it says, what about Cujo?
That didn't make the list, but who knows? That could realistically happen, maybe.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, if you get an animal that gets bitten by a certain other animal and goes crazy,
that
has rabies, you know. I mean,
you know what's crazy about that?
What's that?
I tried working for a veterinarian's office.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize to anybody that has ever gone through having an animal or a dog that they thought had rabies and had to put them down. But the only way to test for rabies is to send their head to the lab. Oh. So it's not like you can keep them alive and test for it and see if they had it. You know, you can't test for it any other way. Literally have to saw the head off and send it to the lab.
That's fucked up.
It is, because there was a 6-month-old puppy brought in to the vet's office that I worked at, and he was acting weird and strange or aggressive or something like that. And they weren't sure. It's not like they saw something bite him. It's not like, you know, and they had to do that. And I said, oh no, like I would keep him and monitor him for a couple. Maybe like people, when you get like a UTI and it goes too long, they start to get like crazy. You know, you don't know.
Right.
I mean, come on, give me a break. I couldn't work there anymore.
I can understand.
They didn't do it on purpose. You know, they weren't like, you know,
that's the only way they knew.
They weren't malpracticing or anything, but
I think it was called.
Did you do that?
I did it. Yeah. I'm just trying to catch up here what we got going.
I got it.
Oh.
Oh, see, this is what I'm saying. Like I don't understand why people like, that upset me. After that happened, I had to leave because I couldn't.
Well, my wife worked at a shelter once, or not shelter, but animal hospital area, and she couldn't do it either. Just the way how they worked on animals and just didn't.
Don't get me wrong. The place I worked was amazing. Like I worked in the front. I couldn't do the back, you know, and because it's the people that, and not all of the people, but you know, a lot of people really, they have animals and you wonder why, because they don't take care of them. And
right.
And some of the things that came through there, I just, and I tend to be able to like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what to call it, but it's almost like one thing is I can always tell when they're when animals are very thirsty. That's one thing. You know, I feel very connected to animals, like very, very this connection. So every night I was driving home and crying. I'm like, I can't do this.
No.
That's even
when
they're being put to sleep because they're old and they're not eating and they can't move and they can't walk. Like, yes, I know they're in pain and you can't do anything, but I just couldn't.
Another movie kind of freaked me out is Silence of the Lambs, and that's the other part of Ed Gein's trauma there too. Doing that to somebody, I don't know how you could.
Hi, Matt.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Thanks for joining us. Matt's great. He has a podcast.
Yep.
Oh, you know Matt?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right, good. That's when I was done, children. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, like when I was thinking about going to like nursing school and stuff like that, when I heard that you have to dissect animals, I was like, give me a person. I'll dissect a person all day long.
Not this guy. I don't dissect anything.
I'll dissect a person all day long if I got to learn. I'm not doing an animal.
I can't even hunt, and I won't even try because I don't like it.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. Yeah, I can't.
Besides, you're talking to a blind guy to try to shoot the shotgun at 15. No thanks. A scope coming back to my head in my face. Yeah, I'm done.
Well, I worked in a nursing home when I was my first job when I lived in Ohio. And I remember they threw me right in right away. The first resident that passed away, they were like, "All right, go ahead," because you have to clean them up afterwards. And we were shorthanded, and I had to go do this by myself.
No.
And good Lord, I'm telling you, I did not know that there are possibilities of noises and movements or anything like that after they pass away.
Well, I'm sure they got the same thing as humans do because...
No, I'm talking about people. I was working in a nursing home.
Oh, okay.
I went in to clean this woman up, and as I'm trying not to look at her face because this is like, nobody's prepared me for this part. And this is the first time ever, and I'm doing it by myself. And then I finally look up, and her eye goes, and I'm like,
oh,
okay. What the fuck? And I hear this noise.
No.
And I ran out. I go, she's still alive.
See, with funerals, I have a hard time going up and seeing the person laying in the casket because I think they're going to sit up on me. I can't do it. I look glance once, okay, then move on.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I worked at a rendering plant. What's that? I don't even know what that is. A rendering plant? I don't know. What is that? Do you know?
I don't have a clue. I'm trying to look at some of these movies here. So here's one that you guys were talking about on your show Wednesday, The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Yes.
Now that I found out yesterday that one is based off of a true event that happened in Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
And my Iowa friends were telling me about it and stuff, and it's like, yeah, it's today. Like, it's such a small town that it happened in. Like, either people don't talk about it or they've just forgotten about it, and a priest is hush hush about what happened.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about it. I know me and Duo Demonology talked about it before, but they make her look. I feel like in the movie she's like 12 or 13, but in real life she was 17 when it happened, and ultimately she starved to death.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I was just told that they really didn't recreate the whole house for the lady and the entity. So I'm like, now I don't know what to believe. Kenny totally shot. He does this all the time.
Well, he's like my friends with equipment. He is showing me. I brought this awesome REM pod for like $40. I'm like, this thing's a great thing. Yeah. Get to his house. See, it manipulates it. If you put your hand really close to it, slowly, you can almost touch the antenna. But if you back away from it, come up real fast with it, the wind from your hand will actually reach the antenna and set it off. I'm like, you just fucking killed it for me. I'm like, come on.
Because I would rather know than to talk about it and be wrong. You know what I mean? And my whole life I've said that they really did that. And that's because that's what I've heard and read. So now I trust Kenny more than I trust the internets. So
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's fine. I don't mind it if people call it out on it, because sometimes you need to do that.
See, I couldn't do it. No way. No way, Nick. And you have a hot dog in your hand. I would become like a vegan. Like I'm almost a vegan. No, I mean I'm almost a vegetarian. But like if I worked somewhere like that, that would just I wouldn't. There's no way. Nope.
He's probably got a hot dog with grapes in the other hand. Sorry, I had to.
Oh yeah, if you keep a walkie-talkie, forget it. Anything can make all those things go off your cell phone.
Well, two-way radios. That's another thing that set off. I had a walkie-talkie and a radio.
Yeah, that's what Nick just said.
I pressed it, I clicked it, and if it's on the same waveform or frequency, it'll set it off.
Yeah. So
what does everybody think about today's episode? Do you want more stuff like this, or do you want different stuff? Because and Taryn knows, I got a couple hundred questions in my mind yet. This could go for a while.
Yep. One of the reasons why I invited Darren to come on to Paranormal Brew and stream, because all my lives he would show up when I was doing, on my Wednesday night lives. Darren would have the best questions. Like I used to love when he would come on. I'm like, yes, Darren's here. So
I come on when I can, and stuff is going on. But it also has to be, sometimes I like before your show comes up, I see who you got coming on. And sometimes I'll say, do I not want to? I mean, for me, it's like demonology. I've picked their brains, I think, as much as I can pick them. Like I mentioned before, it's like I have to come up with new questions because I think they're getting sick of the same questions that I throw at them. But
yeah, but I've had them on so many times. We always have a different conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, I could talk to them for hours about stuff. It's the same thing. Like I could talk to Kenny for hours about stuff. You'll notice I have the people on. Like Ron Murphy is another one. You know what I mean? Like I could talk to him he knows everything. Like I could talk to him for hours. And Haunted MD, Doc Molnar, I mean, like there's just people that just are just so full of info.
So here's a new one. And I follow this lady on Instagram because she is very interesting. She is one of those hospice nurse. Her name, she goes by Hospice Nurse Julie, and she sits and talks about all the people that she helps before they die, and all the strange things that has happened and the phenomenon that she sees that goes on before they pass away. I think that would be a great guest for you to have on your show.
That would be an interesting person to talk to,
because I don't think there's too many people that have hospice nurse on to talk about it.
I mean, I had somebody on that claimed to be a hospice person and help children pass over and stuff like that. So, but he came out that he's a complete fraud. But
I digress. Move on.
But no, I would love to have a real person on. Somebody that really knows what they're talking about or what they're doing.
Yeah. Like I said, she's got some really interesting stories. Just floored me on some of the stuff she would talk about, and sometimes she gets pretty emotional with the stuff that she talks about. So definitely reach out to her one of these times and see if you can get her on your show.
Yeah, well, you'll have to send me your name.
All right, can do that.
So
anybody else have any questions about any of the movies that we have talked about or we haven't talked about?
The Blob.
The Blob, yeah.
I'm going to show that to all the kids that like to play with that. What's that stuff that comes?
Oh, you mentioned it before.
The slime or whatever. You know how they play? The kids order the slime and everything.
Right.
What sounds good? I don't know what he's talking about.
Maybe he's talking about the grapes.
The grapes?
He was saying he had a hot dog in his hand. And I said, well, he's probably got grapes in the other hand.
Oh, grits. Yeah. I mean, the hospice nurse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that sounds interesting. Yeah, I think I could. I mean, my next opening is after I have somebody booked until June 29th.
Okay. Yeah, she's been on the paper quite a bit. So
the show. Thank you, Colette.
I believe she was on USA Today newspaper.
Oh, really? Talking about that?
Yeah, about her job and what she does. Yeah, she's very interesting.
Yeah, you'll have to send me her name and I'll contact her. I'm going to look her up first though, because I got to make sure, because, like I said, I had somebody on that wasn't.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. So what time we got here? Get close to 3 o'clock. So you got about 9 minutes left of the show. So does anybody else want to bring
I don't know that movie. Nick said The Town That Dreaded Sundown. What? I don't know that one.
And why is that? Is it because of vampires?
Well, wouldn't that be 40 Days of Night?
Yep.
That was a good movie.
Yeah. Which had a sequel.
And I didn't see the sequel, but 40 Days of Night was a good one.
Right. Now, isn't Alaska the one that has 30 Days a Night?
Yeah, that they were in Alaska, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alaska, actually, it's 6 months.
I can't remember if it's 6 months or 30 days. I can't remember.
It's 6 months. But so when Rob was in the military, he was stationed in Alaska, and he said it's actually not a full 24 hours. He said it's 23 hours. I was like, oh, he says the same thing.
1 hour's difference.
I'm like, if it's still dark for 23 hours, I mean, that's got to be so depressing.
That's gotta suck.
Yeah.
I couldn't drive.
Like, look how light it is right now.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine if it was 2 o'clock in the morning? Like, what? How could you sleep?
Right. I wish they get rid of that daylight savings time. I think that's stupid. But that's just me.
I don't care either way, but I couldn't imagine 6 months of like darkness. I don't know. I like it very lit. I like the sunlight. I like it. You know what I mean? So
right.
It's about a serial killer in Texas. So do you think that was tied to the Ed Gein? Or it was a true serial killer? I wonder.
Well, if I remember correctly, there is a house in Texas that they claim. Well, no.
No, it's true. Okay. Yeah. I never heard of that movie. And I watch too many movies. Because
so do I.
I watch way too many bad movies and like ID on Discovery and stuff, because the other day I was out on my deck and I was painting and I see this person on the other side of my fence. Now behind me is wetlands and woods, right?
Okay.
There's a fence and then there's like this little clearing and I have a gate that goes out to this area for some reason. But there was this a male comes and he's like up against my fence and I see him like doing like digging, right? I was like, what is he digging? And it was like, he was there for like so long. Finally, I'm just like, I'm going to call the cops.
Is it like the Burbs?
Like, I'm seriously scared. Like something's going to happen, right? So I called 911. I was like, there's some male behind my fence digging and digging. I said, he's been there for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I don't know what he's doing. Well, they let the 3 officers show up and like they're all, one's coming through my house here, one's going around the back, one's coming, and it wound up being, and I feel so bad, but it was like the 12-year-old that lives next door. He was going on an adventure.
What do you mean? I'm just trying to have fun.
I was like, oh.
You mean lady, call the cops on me.
I said, I couldn't tell through the fence. All I saw was like this flannel and somebody like doing this, like digging. I'm like, I couldn't even tell if like how old the person was or nothing. I'm like, so for all I know, he's back there like burying something, or what if he's growing pot plants? And the cops are like, the cops are like, well, it's legal now. Just share it. I was like, oh, okay.
Now that's funny for a cop to say that. Just share it.
Yeah, but
I guess if you're having a rough day, just share it, right?
Yeah, and of course, here I am. You know what though? The town I live in, I have to just give props really quick. The police department's amazing. I mean, I've had to call them for some of the stupidest things. Legitly, like I found like a hurt pigeon one time, and I had to call them, and they came out, and they were so helpful and so patient and so nice. It's like. I just have to give a shout out to the Mount Ephraim Police Department because they're just amazing. Back there trying to get worms for fishing, and boom, 5 cops. I know. I had the cops cracking up. I'm like, listen, I watch a lot of horror movies and ID on Discovery. Okay. Anything's possible. My luck, it would be like there's a dead body buried back there. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you never know.
You better be careful. They might come over and raid your TV and take stuff away from you.
I know. I'm not going to be allowed to watch TV.
Rob's going to like, what the hell did you do?
I told him, I'm like, so cops were here today. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah.
What adventure did you have today? Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So I was like, I got to stop watching too much TV. Clearly.
All righty. So we are getting close to 3:00. Taryn, do you want to explain what's going on tonight on the Paranormal Brew?
Yes, I'm actually going to do a live in a little bit too myself, just to kind of, catch everybody up. But tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time, I will be live on Paranormal Brew. That's not my normal night. My normal night's Wednesdays, but I'm celebrating 5 years of my podcast.
That's 10.
Now I have 2 5 balloons, and I'm going to put them up, and now that's what I'm going to think of.
You better call the police again.
You said 10. Rob's like, people are going to think 55. I'm like, oh, okay.
You better put up 1 balloon.
But I am celebrating 5 years of doing the Paranormal Brew, and it has been an amazing journey. I never ever thought, and like being at this place right now, and looking back, like I literally woke up this morning. I'm like, how the fuck did I do 5 years? Like, how did that happen?
You're having fun. Time travels.
But I just don't understand, and it's still going. But yeah, and it's like I just, not how did I do it? I mean, like, how did it survive? You know what I mean? Like, how is it still going?
And you get people interested, and that's why.
And I'm so grateful for everybody, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those people, for the people that watch, for the people that support, and for the people that share, the people that come on. So I'm having a lot of past guests come on, having, the ones that can't, because, and I say this lovingly because I love them all, the big time people, people that, the celebs and stuff like that. I mean, some of them are they're doing like little video clips because either they're filming or they're flying or they're, doing something. So some people are, just giving me little video clips to play. Ron and Lourdes are coming on, Lourdes Gonzalez and Ron Iacovetti, and they're actually going to send me some DRV clips that I can play while they're on. Justin Bamforth is coming on. He's an author. Also, he is an author, and he researches like Men in Black and extraterrestrials and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a new book. So when he comes on, he's actually going to be giving away, he has 2 books. The Spectrum, which is his old book, and then he's Spilled Ink, and he's going to give 2 copies away to people that are watching. So he'll give 4 altogether, but 2 copies of each.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody that likes, shares, follows, subs, and Paranormal Brew tags 2 people in it. I shared something for that, so that's that. We're all, whoever drinks we're going to be drinking. Whoever doesn't, grab some soda, whatever. Yeah, and come hang out, because it's going to be fun. And it's literally a not scheduled thing. And like I said, here's my list of people. So, whoever comes on is going to come on, and they can stay as long as they want. I have 10 spots with my StreamYard. So they can stay, it can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 minutes, you can stay, whatever, whoever, it doesn't matter, so it'll be a good time, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll be back Monday for a paranormal question of the day, and let's see what's up my sleeve this time. Hope everybody has a awesome weekend. Don't work too hard, and take time to pop in and say hi to Taryn on her show tonight. Wish her a happy 5 years.
Darren will be there.
I'll be there for a while. Yes, I will. And with that, for me and Taryn, we bid you adieu. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Or bye.